Hey there, moms. Have you ever looked at your teenager and thought, where did my little one go? And how do I even reach them now? If you're feeling that distance, you're not alone. Staying connected to your teen isn't something that's impossible, but it definitely does require a different approach than when they were younger. So today I want to share with you 7 simple Bible based ways to help you stay connected to your teen and build a relationship that stays strong, even in those hard seasons or those seasons of change as our kids go from children who depend on us to teenagers and then into young adults. So, as our kids grow into teenagers, we have to remember that they're going to naturally start seeking independence. It's not that they don't need us as much, it's just that they need us differently. And in Ephesians 6:4, it reminds us not to provoke our children to anger, but rather to raise them up in the instruction of the Lord. So to me, this means we still need to stay present, engaged, and intentional. So, what are some ways that we can stay connected intentionally? Number one, be present and willing to listen. Keep in mind, your teen isn't always going to open up on your schedule. Sometimes it's late at night, sometimes it's in the car. But the problem is when they start talking, you have to stop what you're doing and really listen, or they will not talk to you. So be there to listen, not to fix, but to connect. I remember over the years of raising our children, often my teens wanted to talk at the most inconvenient times. Often it was at night after I had all the younger ones in bed. I would sit down at my desk to get some work done, and in would come one of my teens and they'd plop down across to me wanting to talk. I learned after a few times that that was something I should not groan about or be frustrated by, but rather I should look at that as an opportunity and a blessing. So many teens didn't want to talk to their parents, and my teens wanted to talk to me, so I needed to take advantage of that and welcome it. So I learned to stop what I was doing and give them my attention to help keep that relationship strong and let them know I was always there, ready to listen. Number two, create a safe space for sharing. Keep in mind that when your teen tells you something that's surprising to you or difficult, it's normal to want to react to that. We want to react with a lecture or why would you do that? What were you thinking? You shouldn't have done that. They need to know that when they come to us and share their hearts, we're not going to do that. They want to realize and feel safe coming to you. They want to be able to come to you without fear. So keep in mind the Bible verse about being quick to listen, slow to speak, and also slow to get angry. And this is really important if you want to keep those lines of communication open where they are not afraid to come to you. A lot of teens quit talking to us because they know if I come and ask mom or dad this or tell them this, I'm going to get this long lecture. Number three, communicate unconditional acceptance. Your teen needs to know that your love is not based on their behavior, on their grades, anything like that. They don't have to earn your love. You love them for who they are and what they are. You love them because they're your child. And when they feel secure in your love, that gives them stability that they really need living in our world today that is such an unstable place. Number four, don't stop giving physical affection to your kids. Even if you get an eye roll, it's important. Do a quick hug, a little hand or pat on the shoulder, mess their hair up a little bit. It still matters to them. This reminds them that they're loved and that you're still there and you want that relationship. You enjoy being with them and you do feel, blessed by their presence. So keep giving them that physical affection that shows your love. And they also need that. All of us need physical affection. Hugs do so much for people, just how it, raises our endorphins, and it's just a healthy thing. So give your teens hugs, even if they complain at first. Number five, share your joy and share lots of laughter. Don't let your relationship become all about correction with no connection and no fun. Laugh together, be silly, enjoy them. I have to say, my teens were so much fun. Yes, we did have times of disagreement and, we had our struggles, But they were really fun kids. And at that age, they start developing their personality a lot more. You start really seeing it. They have a good sense of humor, and you start developing jokes together, family jokes or just personal jokes between you and your child. This helps you enjoy them, but also that laughing together, those moments build bridges of connection. And to be honest, I can remember looking back when I was a teenager. My mom was so fun. My sister and I were just talking about this. I went to visit her a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about mom. And one of the things I told her is she was so fun. I said, I remember teasing her, and she would just laugh about it. And sometimes we would laugh about really dumb things, and we would laugh so hard. We would have tears running down our face. And she would do silly things with us. She was just a lot of fun. And that made us want to do things with her. It made us want to be around her. It built that relationship. Number 6, tune into their emotions, not just their behavior. Sometimes I feel like we look at what our kids are doing, but we don't see what's underneath that's causing that behavior. Ask yourself what they might be feeling. Sometimes just saying something simple like, you seem discouraged, can open the door for them to share what's troubling them. And I think this is really important. I remember a time when my daughter came home from church, and driving home from church, I was trying to talk with her about different things, and she was just very quiet and unresponsive. Like she would just kind of like shrug her shoulders or grunt at me. She wasn't responding back. And in my mind, I thought she's kind of having a bad attitude. And I was kind of irritated with her, thinking, what is wrong with her? We just came from church. Her attitude should be better. I'm just trying to talk to her and have some fun. And I just assumed it was an attitude problem. Well, when we got home, she immediately went straight upstairs to her bedroom. And a couple minutes later, I went upstairs to get something from my room. And as I walked by her door, I could hear her crying in the bedroom. So I tapped on the door and asked if I could come in. And we got talking. I asked her what was wrong. And it turns out that something had happened at church, and she had her feelings hurt really bad. So on the way home, when I thought she was having a bad attitude, she was hurting. So it's really, really important that we tune into their emotions and don't just assume that that behavior is a wrong behavior. There's always a heart problem or an issue that's causing that behavior. So tune into their emotions and sometimes listen more to what they're saying. Well, not the words, but what their heart is saying. Like maybe they're expressing fear through those words, or, they're unsure about something. So listen to those emotions. And then number 7, support their passions and their interests. Try to just step into their world. See it the way they do. What do they get excited about? What do they love doing? What do they love talking about? What do they like spending their time on? What do they celebrate? Ask them questions about whatever it is that they're so interested in at the time. If you show interest by asking questions, because that's something that's near and dear to their heart, they're going to open up their heart and they're going to start talking. So celebrate what matters to them. And when you do that, you keep that connection strong, and they want to come to you and tell you more. They want to let you know about every little step of progress about whatever that thing is that they're so excited about or working on. And an example of this was there was a lady at our church who she just kind of had a real gruff personality, kind of what I would call a prickly person. And I never thought or felt like she liked me. When I talked to her, she would just be kind of abrupt. Of course, she was like that with everyone. That was kind of her personality. But I took it personally, and I thought, she doesn't like me. I have to find a way to get to her and get her where she really wants to talk. I want to meet her where she is, find her passion that will help her to open up to me. So one night before church, I went up and asked her something that unlocked that. I asked her about her grandkids, and oh my goodness, she opened up and just talked to me, big smiles all over. She showed me pictures, and after that, it was like we were just best friends forever. What happened there, nothing changed except I found what her passion was, her interest, and I asked her about that, and that caused her to open up and share her heart. It's the same way with our kids. Find what it is that makes them light up when you ask them about it. And then in closing, let me just give you a simple bonus. This is just an idea, but I would encourage you to create a weekly one-on-one time together with your teens. This doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be a whole day thing. It can be something as simple as a quick coffee run or an ice cream treat, or even going on a walk together on a nice day. Honestly, even just 30 minutes of focused time with your teen can really make a big difference in keeping the connection strong with them. So, just to recap and review, be present, create a safe space where they feel free to share their thoughts, their questions, their struggles, show unconditional love, give affection, share joy and excitement, tune into their emotions, and support their interest. Staying connected during the teen years doesn't usually happen by accident, but with God's help and with being intentional with prayer, patience, and lovingly reaching out to them, it is absolutely possible. So if this encouraged you, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I would love to hear in the comments, which one of these ideas are you going to start this week? And then keep in mind, you're not alone in this journey, Mama. We're all struggling with some of the same things. Keep in mind that what you're investing in your teen right now is what will carry them into their future years for eternity. You are shaping their character and their lives for eternity.